And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. We're coming here live shortly after the news has been released. Glenn, the San Francisco Giants are moving on from manager Bob Melvin. He was the manager for the Giants for 2 years. He is the manager no more. Giants add another thing on their to-do list. Not only do they got to go find some additional players, now they got to go find a guy to lead the squad. And look, Glenn, I'll get to you here in a second. It looks like with the firing of Bob Melvin, I'm guessing there's probably going to be new coaches and all that good stuff as well. So what say you, Glenn?
Last night on the Hot Corner, I said it wouldn't surprise me if they stuck with this regime, Eric, because they play it safe. This was, as I put up on the screen, something that had to happen, Eric. You got to get a fresh look. And I'll tell you why. Eric, in my opinion, my humble opinion, though it may be. And I'm going to take two sides to this story, okay? Now, I'm playing it safe, okay, Eric? You got a team that started with such a bang.
Yes, correct.
Was doing all the little things, in my opinion, the right way. I'm not going to get into it again, but getting the runners on, get them over. They were using some speed. Everything was nice coming out of that. I mean, the best team coming out of the preseason, and boy, it carried over. So this is a team that goes 12, 13 games over 500, and then Eric, I mean, they make the big move. They get Rafi Devers. You think, okay, we're talking serious business now. That's going to put us over the top. So what do? They go 18-31 after the trade. 18-31 after that deal. And they were 7-20 at Oracle Park. So adding the key piece kind of set them back in a way. But I will come off, I'll get your opinion on this. In all due respect to the manager, Buster Posey created this situation. Mm-hmm. Buster Posey, trade deadline, dismantled our bullpen. Mm-hmm. I mean, in some respects, I wasn't happy with Bob Melvin to begin with. In other respects, got to give credit to the proper institution, if you will, and that is Buster Posey, because Buster Posey should be credited with this mess because I'm giving him my backing. Well, that's egg in the face, isn't it, Buster? You backed the manager who wasn't doing very well. He's got our total commitment. I've got faith in him. Well, I should have kept your mouth shut because that's flying back at you now. And again, they made moves in a positive direction. I just thought the trade deadline, Buster Posey did his manager no favors by, our top Eric, is there any debate? Really? Our top reliever, our best reliever was Rogers.
Yeah, he was
regardless of what you think about Duvall was your closer. So you basically said, okay, now we don't have a closer, and our elite setup man, I could only remember one or two off nights for him the entire season when he was wearing the orange and black. Buster did not help. But anyway, I think this is, like I said in the show last night, I didn't know if this would happen or not, but I thought this is something, it had to happen, Eric. It had to happen if you're going to look toward the future. And may I also add, Eric, one more final thought, and that is now we're getting to the point in this regime, it's going to be Buster's guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about, I guess Buster Posey's supposed to be speaking to me. If anyone has a link, I'm looking on NBC Sports Bay Area's website, but they don't have anything on there. Glenn, if you could find it, that'd be great. But I'm going to get into this real quick. I'm going to get into the what Alex Pavlovich reported earlier. Again, this is Buster Posey. Buster Posey let Bob Melvin go 3 months after picking up his option. Here's quotes from Posey. The last couple of months have been both disappointing and frustrating for all of us, and we did not perform up to our standards. We now turn our focus to identifying a new leader to guide us forward. Again, that is straight from Buster Posey. All right, let me see if there's anything on. I don't think there's going to be anything on Twitter talking about it now. I don't see anything. Again, that is straight from Buster Posey. And I'll tell you what.
Pretty short and sweet, too, isn't it? Pretty short and sweet.
I see a couple. Cole, you have a question. Gary, I see you, and I'm going to bring those up in a bit. But here's the thing. This year was a take inventory year. And I think Bob Melvin was part of this. Last year when Buster Posey got hired, he wasn't going to do a full-scale rebuild of everything, not only with players, but also with management. He probably wanted to see, what do I have to work with, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why he had Bob Melvin see what he could. Basically, it was a tryout year. Let's see if this is a guy that I want to go with forward. In July, early July, there was a lot of rankling going on whether or not Bob Melvin was going to be his option was going to be picked up for 2026. Buster Posey, and I said this last night, he lowered the temperature, right, by coming out and saying, we got Bob Melvin's option. Again, just to quell all the craziness going on. The last thing you need to do when you're kind of scuffling as a team is to add more stuff on top of it. So all he tried to do is try to say, okay, hey, let's get through this stretch. Let's put the rest, and we'll readdress this at the end of the season.
Do you agree with that move?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm okay.
See, I don't. Okay. I don't.
I'm okay for the simple
I think that's hoodwinking everybody. Buster Posey. I mean, you can't be out there throwing accolades and throwing bouquets when are you really that happy?
Hey, I hear what you're saying, and that's a valid point. But I think he just did it to lower the temperature, right or wrong. That I think was his intention. Now
it's not a buddy club, man. This is business.
No,
you got to call a spade a spade. I mean, if you're my manager, you're not doing well. I'm not going to say, we got.
But look what happened. What did the Giants do? Shortly thereafter, about a month later, they went on a tear. But then they came back. And here's another thing. Ibrahim, he brought this point up to me as well, and it's a valid point. Anytime there was quote unquote pressure, the team failed. Whether that's Bob Melvin's fault or not, but they failed. When there was no pressure, the team excelled. So there's something to that. And
explain that,
right? Yeah, I can't. It's weird. It's weird. And look here, let's get into some of these questions. Cole is asking, how does the managerial search take you? Oh yeah, how long does it take? Definitely before the offseason. I don't know. I don't know if there's rules in MLB. I think you have to go through you got to go through interviews and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you could just do it internally. Maybe you can. I don't know. If anyone knows, hey, let me know. That'd be fantastic. But I think you have to go through a quote unquote interview process and give everyone a fair chance, so to speak, to make their case, I guess. So there you go, Cole. I don't think it happens until after the World Series.
No, but do you also think, I made the point last night on our show when we got together with Dan and Lou, the final hot corner, by the way, the final hot corner flies off to the sunset. And then this breaking news today, on a couple hours sleep, dude. I said on the show last night, Eric, that don't you think Buster Posey has already had this percolating?
I'm sure he did, especially the way they finished the last couple of weeks of the season. I'm sure that I
don't think he's sitting in the office today going, oh my God, now what am I going to do? I think he's got thought process already. He's got ideas. He's got names. He's got, names are up on that bulletin board in his office, Eric. And you would hope, as a Giant fan now, you would hope, and I would expect, we're what, a couple of months out, not even 2 full months, I don't believe, but we're a couple of months out from the managerial meetings. You're going to have somebody.
Oh, yeah. The winter meetings in the beginning of December. I think November you have the GM meetings, and then in December you have the winter meetings. So,
yeah, I can't see this being a process that drags on, Eric, but they've got to play it right. Not play it safe. They've got to play it right. Buster Posey, his legacy, if you will, is on the line right now because this will be his hire.
All right, here we go. This is from John Shea. We're doing this as it being reported here. Buster Posey on Bob Melvin. Unfortunately, just the way we played throughout the course of the year, this is where we ended up. And the hope is that we could get a new voice in the room to lead these guys to get us back to where we all want to go. Again, not disparaging them, which is good. That's the way you want to do it. But definitely not happy with the outcome of the way that the club played.
Quick question for you, Eric. I hate to interrupt you in mid-thought here, but what's the rules here now? Is this open forum? If I can get you the feed, an audio feed from Buster Posey's press conference.
Yeah, why not? Why not? If you can find it, go for it.
You're not going to fire me?
No, you're good, man.
Okay.
You're all good. The Giants Preservation Society. What's up, Gary? By the way, guys, make sure you guys check out New York Giants Preservation Society on YouTube. He puts up all the Zoom meetings that he has weekly. It's awesome stuff.
And,
can you hear that, Eric?
Yep.
We've got to get back to a place where, we're getting in the playoffs. We're making runs in playoffs, and that's what our fan base deserves. That's what the city deserves. And as I mentioned before, or I don't know if I mentioned it, it's when seasons don't go the way you want them, it's never one person's fault. It's never one group's fault. But when they don't go the way you want them, you can't, in my opinion, can't sit there and say we're going to come back and do the same thing that we did this year for the next year. So, having said that, that's part of why we landed where we landed.
Alex?
Hey, Buster, when you picked up the option in July, you kind of placed a lot on your shoulders and also on the clubhouse. What changed for you in the last 3 months in terms of just the way you viewed Bob?
Again, I think, Alex, it wouldn't be fair to completely put it on somebody. Obviously, Bob not coming back this year, it does lend itself that way, which is true. But what changed is, my hope was grabbing that option. I think we all felt that the season was going in a direction that we didn't want it to go, and the hope was that picking up that option provided a morale boost within the clubhouse. It gave us, for that time, some consistency going forward with a few months left in the season. And then, unfortunately, again, we didn't play the type of baseball that we needed to play to get in the playoffs, and that's why we're here.
Go to Shayna Rubin.
Hey, Buster, just piggybacking off your answer to Susan, is there anything that you would expect to see from a manager that you wanted to see from the managerial position that you didn't see specifically? Like, is there something that you expected to see that you didn't get to see?
Good question, Eric.
No, again, it's all encompassing big picture, and just looking to find a different voice that can take us in a different direction.
Staying vague. That's fine.
Staying vague.
You don't want to get too into the weeds.
In terms of a different voice, do you have a list in mind of people that you want to talk to about this opening, and when ideally would you like to make a decision?
They're coming in hard, Eric.
Yeah, I have ideas. I have people in mind, but I'll keep that to myself right now. When to make a decision, I don't think that you set a timetable on it. I think it's going to happen naturally whenever we have some time to sit down and talk with people. And no timetable on my end. Want to make sure we get it right.
And also the streakiness of this season. I don't know that many of us have ever seen such a up and down roller coaster of stretches.
It's unique.
Do you feel that Bob's leadership played a role in that streakiness?
It's hard to say. I mean, you could point to probably, a lot of different areas. And again, the hope is that we do get to a place where we are more consistent. We all know as much baseball as we've all watched over years and years, that the details, the small things are really important. And the hope is to find somebody that can push the group to a higher level of making sure there's all those little small fundamentals are emphasized.
Thank you.
Go to John Shea.
Johnny Shea.
Hey, Buster. What kind of manager are you looking for? One guy to
different voice. That's all he's going to say.
Another guy with a whole bunch of experience. Is Bochy somebody you talked to? Texas.
I bet he's vague. He's going to be vague.
Do you want in a manager? And could it be a guy who's got no major league experience or any managing experience for that matter?
John, I think we're open. I mean, I don't think for me, age is somewhat irrelevant. The experience part, you can have different takes on that. So generally pretty open. I'd say what I want is similar to what I mentioned to Ann on the previous question, is somebody that's going to be obsessive about the details, obsessive about work, obsessive about getting the most out of our players, getting the most out of our staff, and somebody that will inspire confidence in our players on the field, and also all the interactions that happen off the field as well.
And in terms of Bochy,
I don't know what his status is yet. I haven't heard, so I can't speak on that.
And Buster, you how much communication was there in the final week or two with the manager? The media maybe didn't see you around as much, or Zach. And just was there much discussion, throughout September with the manager in the final days and weeks?
Yeah, there's always discussions. I mean, just because we're not around doesn't mean there's not discussions. And we were at the ballpark every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were there.
Thank you.
Go to Maria Guardado.
Hey, Buster. Bob is obviously a Bay Area guy. He played for the Giants. It seemed like this was kind of his dream job. Just what was it like to kind of break that news to him this morning?
It wasn't enjoyable. No, I mean, I knew how much this job meant to Bob. Like I mentioned in the, my opening remarks, somebody that I've admired as a manager for a long time. So, was not something that I was looking forward to do. Bob was extremely gracious, and he cares about this organization. He cares about the players, and he wants to see them be successful.
Go to Laura Britt.
Hey, Buster, were there any indications that the players had lost confidence in Bob Melvin? And then with that, do you consider the clubhouse voice at all when you're making a decision like this?
No, there's no indications on my part about the players. Yeah, you consider clubhouse voice for sure. I mean, I think that's part of being around is, you're evaluating not only what you're seeing on the field, but what you're seeing, what guys' mannerisms are as they're interacting in the clubhouse, training room, weight room, whatnot. So yes, I think that it's important to have that pulse, but I also believe that ultimately, these decisions have to be made by me in the front office.
Go to Andrew Baggerly.
Hey, Buster, I think it's probably not a controversial statement to say one of the reasons the season went awry is because when things started going bad, the team just couldn't course correct fast enough. What do you imagine could have been different if there was a different voice in that dugout? Do you think a manager could have really made an impact on that? And, I guess, what are your thoughts about that?
It's hard to say. I mean, I've said it a few times already. The blame when you don't have the results, it's unrealistic to say that it falls on one person. But again, my thought is that getting a different voice and a different perspective in there hopefully will be advantageous for us.
To Brian Murphy.
Buster, given that hires like Randy Wynn show that you're very comfortable with guys that you've been around, is it likely that your list would be heavy on Giants or former Giants that you've been around?
No, I wouldn't say that's the case. I mean, like I mentioned before, we're going to be very open and take our time to go through some interview processes and try our best to get the best person to lead the Giants forward.
Okay, we're going to take just a few more. Let's go back to Susan.
Buster, I think everyone knows what good friends you are with Mark Hallberg. He's obviously not someone
Here we go.
For permission to talk to. Do you have plans to speak to him about this position?
Again, Susan, I think right now I'll keep all my names tight. I just think for the sake of this process, that's probably the best thing to do.
And you and everyone had emphasized from the beginning of the season that it was going to be a pitching and defense team. The defense left something to be desired. There were lots of mistakes, particularly on the bases. Where does ultimately the blame for that lie, and how does that get addressed if it's not strictly a managerial issue?
Yeah, I mean, I think as players, you have to look in the mirror and analyze your own performance. Some players are better than others at doing that. The hope is as a collective group, we can rally around some of those guys that maybe aren't as astute self-evaluators and help them become the best players that they can be.
Compliments of the Giants. There you go, Eric. Your thoughts?
Interesting. I noticed he used the word inspire a few times, if I'm not mistaken. If he wants a manager that's going to inspire, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting to see how he goes. He's already said he's got a close list of what he wants to do. We'll find out shortly, probably what that's going to be. Again, that's going to be the speculation now. We got to, as with any type of news like this, you're gonna get a lot of speculation. I'm gonna hit a couple of comments. I had this before we went. It says Smart getting this out early on things gives him more time than most teams. I'm more than fine with the move, but hate hearing the term fired in regards to Matt Williams. Strictly from my heart, I get you. Look, Matt Williams has a place in a lot of Giants' hearts because of the type of player that he was. But yeah, I get it. Unfortunately,
it's business, Eric. At the end of the day, you're fired.
Yeah. Don Michio, Melvin's ultimate downfall has always been his mismanagement of the bullpen. Yes, that is probably the biggest blemish on what was going on with Bob Melvin. You can make the argument if those A's teams had gone deeper and won a title, especially back in 2019, they'd still be in Oakland.
That's up for I don't know about that. But I will say, Eric, what I said off the top of the show, I got to put a lot of the blame on Buster Posey. He broke up what little bullpen, the success of the bullpen. We had a closer and we had an elite, in my opinion, Eric, his numbers didn't lie, an elite setup guy. And you broke up, as I called it, you broke up the band at the trade deadline. I know his reasoning and there was but Eric, he didn't do Bob Melvin any personal favors, in my opinion.
No. And to be honest with you, at the trade deadline, they weren't playing well enough to even add. I mean, yeah, I guess you could have kept, but you know what happened? And I'll credit Buster Posey for this. He saw what the going rate was for all these relievers. And relievers those are easily replaceable. But they were getting back hauls for freaking relievers. So Buster Posey went out there and took advantage of it. Look, maybe we got something in Gilbert. We don't know. Jury's still out. Maybe we got something in Blake Tidwell. Again, when he was in AAA, he looked like he was putting up some good numbers. The Jesus Rodriguez, that guy's got a bat. Whether or not he has a position he can play is a different story, but the guy has a bat. So, I'm not, hindsight's 20/20, but I still think that Bob Melvin didn't do himself any favors. He just didn't do himself any favors as far as the way the team was performing, because they started performing, then they started underperforming, and it's just, hey, maybe there's something else. And look, and I said this off the top. Bosie talked about inspiring. Maybe that was an issue with Bob Melvin in the clubhouse. Maybe he wasn't inspiring his players like Buster Posey would have liked to see from a manager, for whatever that means. Whatever that means. But obviously there's something that Bob Melvin was lacking that Buster Posey wanted to move on from. And look, let's talk about this too. Hey, Justin, I see you. Just give me a minute here. Buster Posey has made some pretty tough decisions in his first year as Pobo. His first year as a Pobo was not easy. He's had to navigate some turbulent waters, so to speak. He came in. All the expectations were, okay, let's see where this goes. You had Lamont Wade at first. You had Yaz in right field. Lamont Wade failed terribly. The guy was a career 240 hitter, somewhere around there, with a huge on base would come through. This year, absolutely shit the bed, right? Bob Melvin had to make that move to get rid of him. And it's a guy that he played with as a player. That's not easy to do. Yet Mike Yastrzemski came out of the season on fire. Then he cooled off. He wound up having to trade him. And now here at the end of the season, he had to get rid of his manager. Again, I think it's a right move. I'm not saying it. All I'm saying is he's had to make some really difficult decisions. But on the same token, he's also made some incredible moves. He traded for Rafi Devers. He got a fantastic player on the cheap. There's no way that you would have been able to find the caliber of Rafi Devers for how much did they have to pay him. I mean, it was incredible. Yes, he went and signed Willie Adames. You can question that, but the guy is a good player. He doesn't have a batting average, but who the hell does this year? Or in these days, who has batting averages? I was looking up Codify. You know how many players this year batted one or had 185 hits plus? It's something like six players. That's it in the entire. No, zero. Not one player had 185 plus hits on the season. So hitting is down across the league. So the batting average has been kind of reduced. I don't like it because everyone understands. I've been on the show saying should have a batting average, but Willie Adames is going to be fine. So we'll see what happens. We could start talking. I already see people start talking about it already. What direction do you guys think that Buster Posey goes? He's keeping his list close, Glenn. What do you think? You got any ideas of who may be floating out there that he might be taking a look at?
Boy, I'll tell you one thing I agree with Rob. I don't want no Bochy. No more nostalgia. I don't want nostalgia hires, Eric. I don't want dinosaurs. I don't want, we remember what you did, a decade ago. Geez, you think we can get somebody? We had a great year in 1964. You think we can bring somebody in? Stop it with that. This isn't nostalgia. It's business. You got to get the right guy. I hope he goes young, Eric. I'd rather take a flyer on a good up and coming young manager outside of the system. And like I say, if they fail doing that, I can live with that. But stop with the nostalgia hires. I don't want to hear about Bochy. I don't even want to hear about guys. I don't want to hear about guys within the organization. We've kept the batting coaches, bullpen coach. Eric, it's kind of been an epic failure. So don't hire within the organization if it hasn't worked out already. Try a different approach.
Okay, here. And to your point, I'm not opposed to getting someone in. If you guys look, for example, Ron Wotus, guy is a fantastic baseball guy. He's a fantastic baseball guy. He was part of all the World Series. Look, he's been part of the Giants when they've been up and when they've been down. Okay. He could be an option. And that's not an option that I would be opposed to as far as internal. But to hire someone outside just for the sake of being outside, hey, how did Farhan Zaidi work for you? Right? How did Farhan Zaidi? It didn't work out too well. So just because you go outside doesn't mean that that's going to mean immediate success. You got to get a guy who understands what you want in a baseball manager. Does he have the acumen? Does he have the leadership ability? Because you got to be a leader of men. When you're a manager, you got to be a leader of men. It's just not about the X's and O's, right?
Hey, you say leader of men. I didn't see that from the manager we just fired, Eric.
Yeah.
A lot of complacency. I told you how many times this year were there opportunities on our show when I talked about, hey, tonight, 7th inning, Eric. Would have been nice if he got to go out there intentionally get kicked out of the game. Go fight for your players. He was very nonchalant. I didn't like that. I think you got to be more aggressive. You got to be more hands-on as a manager. The only thing I ever saw him do was, no, we're not going to go to review. That was the only thing I ever saw him do was look back and see if we were going to do a review. I want to see more aggressive. Yep, that's it, Eric. And I hear what you're saying. I feel you. But again, I think they need a fresh approach. Do not go and just say, hey, we think this guy's going to be a great find because he's in the organization. We know what we've got. Failure I can live with, at least if you're aggressive.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Show some a little bit of passion. I think that's what you're trying to say. Justin said $2. Thank you. He goes, you guys called it last night on Hot Car. Well, it's not about calling it. I mean, it's just, hey, we're throwing out ideas. If we are right, hey, that's great. If we're wrong, well, that's great too.
Yeah, more often than not, though.
Yeah, right. Hey, what's up, Dean? Dean checking in from class. I'm glad Buster, as Lou eloquently stated, had the balls to do what was needed. Yeah.
There you go. You just said that, Eric.
Lou is getting his flowers. Way to go, Lou. And look, I never thought that Buster Posey was timid. Why would Buster Posey be timid? I've always backed Buster Posey because until he's given me a reason not to back him. The guy was a major league Hall of Fame caliber player that played his entire career for the San Francisco Giants. The guy's had immense success as a Giant, and he's had his lowest of lows when he had that catastrophic injury. The guy he's got the freaking balls, so to speak, to do what needs to be done, and he's doing it. And I think all Giants fans should be glad that we have someone like Buster Posey who is going out there and he wants the best for the team. Come on. He wants the best for the team. And look, I can't fault him for that. The decisions may not always be perfect, but you damn well know every time he makes a decision regarding the San Francisco Giants, he wants the Giants to get back to the glory days of when he was a player.
He talked also, Eric, about, he's keeping it close to the vest. All of his answers from the get-go when we broke into that press setup. I think that Buster Posey, a man who knows the game, knows the kind of manager. He's got to have already a short list. And quite frankly, Eric, the way he knows the game, Buster Posey could run this team. He could manage this team.
Hey, how about that? Not only am I the Pobo, I am now going to be the manager. But here, let's talk about this.
Hey, we're going back to the Ken Burns era, eh? You got the guy who's in. I'm running the team. I own the team. I'm the manager, and I'm buying the
player. And I'm the catcher. I'm the catcher. I'm the Pobo, and I'm the manager. But
I think he could do a good job as a manager, Eric. I think that's the kind of guy he wants. He wants a guy with his own knowledge of the game.
Look. There's a lot of names out there. A lot of names. Bruce Bochy. People talked about that. Would he come back? I don't.
Dude, first of all, if I'm Bruce Bochy, this Bruce Bochy talk grew legs, didn't it? If I'm Bruce, don't forget, they showed him the door, Eric. They shuffled him off to Buffalo. So
I don't like.
I don't think I'd. You know what? There might be that love affair between. I'd come back for Buster. But listen, if I'm Bochy, that ship has sailed, Eric.
Well, look,
a nostalgia. Listen, another.
Yeah,
they're talking nostalgia hires.
Yeah, I hear you. No, look, but okay, but is he a good manager? Yes, we can all agree. Bochy's a great manager. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But is that what we need now going forward? I don't think so. I think
we've been down that road, Eric.
Because how long would he be a manager for? Right? I mean, I'd rather get somebody. Look, I've already said Ron Rose. People I've seen Skip Schumacher. I think he sticks around in Texas. That's just me. I think he sticks in Texas. Who else is out there? I mean, is there anyone else out there that the Giants could go? I don't know. Bud Black? Would you go get Bud Black? who was let go by the Colorado Rockies earlier this year? No.
No, but to give you a prime example, and off the top of my head, I apologize, can never remember the name of the new Colorado. Do you see they got rid of Bud Black?
Mm-hmm.
They went young, and I thought he did a tremendous job with what he had. He turned that team around, Eric. There was a little more fire under them. I like young, up-and-coming manager. And again, if it failed, I'll be the first guy to say, boy, they gave it a shot.
Joe Madden, he's out there. Would you get Joe Madden?
I think he could get.
He's a leader of men.
Players.
He's a leader of men. Damn, Joshua, that's a great call.
Well, you know, from your military background, Eric, you want a guy who's a leader. You need the leader.
As a manager, you got to know the game, right?
And no nonsense. You also got to know
your people. You got to know your
nonsense.
People. Yes.
Got to be you got to run a tight ship too.
Now, of course, there's a fine line between how do you want to say it? Remember, you're dealing with baseball people, right? So you got to be careful in how you still got to go out there, and you got to sometimes you might have to get in their ass, but it's a little bit different.
Madden got a lot out of a lot of Tampa Bay players, didn't he?
That's what I was going to say. He does. But he inspires.
Mm-hmm.
He does. He did it with the Cubs. He did it with Tampa Bay. Wow. George Lombard is Tigers bench coach. Okay. You think Donnie Eckert comes back to the organization? Nick Hundley? I don't know. I mean, he was a former catcher. I get it.
But again, a lot of chatter, a lot of talk about guys we know, Eric, that have been within this organization. I don't want it to be an old boys club.
Yeah. I hear you.
I'd rather they hired somebody. You and I come on here and go,
hey, you're talking about young. Well, guess who's probably one of the youngest out there? And it's a name that Buster Posey talked about, and you kind of rolled your eyes. Mark Alberg. He's a young guy. He's up with the new stuff. Would you be opposed to Mark Alberg? He's a young guy. I mean, I don't know. You know what? I would like to see him as a bench coach. You know why? Because then you're being mentored by the manager. So I would be okay if Hallberg is the bench coach. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. I got no problem. As a manager, I don't know, man. I don't know the guy, so I can't sit here and make determinations on how he would be as a manager. But Fuji, $2, the Nationals or Orioles manager who got was it Hyde? Was his first name Kevin? Was it Kevin Hyde? And then Davey Martinez. Was Davey Martinez the Nationals manager that got let go? Buck Showalter? No.
See, Mark Eric, you're throwing Nationals, Orioles, Showalter. You're throwing around guys, Eric, that have been somewhere, and some of them multi-fires, by the way.
Yeah.
I still would like. I don't know, but listen, if we're going to start fresh, I still think, in my opinion, I just like to see somebody look at what Cleveland did last year, Eric. Now, that was a managerial hire. What did they do? They rolled the dice and looked at, or 2 years ago, I guess it was, and look how it worked out, Eric.
Yep.
Look, there's risk and reward in baseball, Eric. You can make a trade if it don't work out. You got to move on. I think the day Buck Showalter, come on.
And
Buck Showalter, what is he? Buck Showalter, isn't he living in we'd have to go and wheel him out of a seniors complex somewhere, Eric?
I see Mark DeRosa has been talking about, but he's a great analyst. But is he? I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Did a hell of a job with Team USA last year.
But that's Team USA. I mean, you managed for 2 weeks, and that's it. This is 162.
Well, he knows his baseball. Played.
And yeah, that's fine. And I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying, are you confident that the guy is going to do what we want him to do? We don't know. Honestly, do we know that with anybody?
Isn't it fair? Isn't it fair to throw right back at you? Buster Posey is Pobo.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair. 100%.
Nobody has any gripes about that.
But and I see Kirptik, I kind of talked about that, talking about an outside voice. An outside voice always isn't going to be the answer. I get the premise. I get it. But that doesn't always mean it's going to lead to success as well.
See, like RJ, Mike
No.
Scioscia. Come on.
Mike Scioscia. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but when you're managing Team USA, come on, it's only for a couple of weeks and that's it. It's not a 162. Kapler was a drastically outside voice, and how did that work out for us?
And see again, the talk
not
of
Hunter Pence,
Hunter.
No.
Like
Please.
Hunter Pence again. This is rah. Well, he was a player here, Eric. Stop.
Look, I get it. The guy was a great Giant. Okay, I get it. He has the enthusiasm, but come on.
All right, I'm just gonna mail it in now to you, Eric. I want young, up and coming, even somebody I go, Eric, who the hell is this guy? Or go get a Madden or a Bochy, get me a grizzled veteran. But don't play it safe and go down the middle. I want
it's
one
either
way or the other.
Bochy or Hallberg. It's Bochy or Hallberg. Oh my!
Hey, recovery. Eric already brought up that name, Ronnie Wotus.
I would like him. I've got a chance to hear him talk. The guy knows baseball. He's never had a shot as a manager, and he's learned under the best. He was the bench coach for Dusty Baker, for Felipe Alou, and for Bruce Bochy. I'm telling you, man, that would be. I would not be disappointed if they get Ron Wotus because the guy has done it. He's old. No, he's not that old. He's only in his early to mid 60s. He's fine. Ron Wotus, as far as his age, don't we? And I think Buster Posey talked about it in his presser, Glenn. He said age has nothing to do with his hire. So there you go. There you go.
Geez, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a lot of chatter, a lot of talk. It's going to be an open debate for how long?
It is.
We don't know.
And again, I said this off the top of the show. It just adds another item on the to-do list that the Giants are going to have to do in this offseason. Look, Buster Posey's going to have a lot of work to do in this offseason. He's got to go out there and get pitching. He's got to go out there and get a contact hitter. And he's going to have to fire, or he's already fired. Now he's going to have to hire a new manager along with all the coaches and associated people, because I'm guessing the coaches are out as well.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that during the press conference, Eric. Are you surprised we didn't hear anything else? Just manager, or do you think there'll be a trickle effect now? Like we'll get our rumblings coming later.
I don't know.
Because you know what happens?
It
doesn't matter what organization, at what level of baseball, Eric. If they hire me, I'm bringing Eric. I bring my boys.
You bring your guys.
My staff.
Yeah.
And that's what Terry Francona, I mentioned last week. That's what Terry has done every step of the way. Doesn't matter who he manages for. He's got his crew.
Exactly.
Always has been and always will be.
Let's talk about this too. We talk about old grizzled guys. What did the Reds do in the offseason?
They got themselves. I mean,
they didn't get a young guy. They got a guy who understood baseball. Terry Francona. Look where the Reds are.
He's not exactly old either, Eric. He's just got a nice resume.
Very nice resume.
I wouldn't say he's an old man.
No, I think he's in his 60s. He's in his 60s as well. I'm just saying that. Look, you could go out there. Dallas is asking if it maybe someone currently in. I don't think the Giants are going to be hiring anybody that is currently in the playoffs. I think they're all going to be safe in their respective clubs. I don't see them. I don't think Dave Roberts or Terry Francona or Stephen Vogt. What's the guy's name? The guy in Milwaukee. Greg Counsell. He's signed long term with the Cubs. What's his name? Detroit, the former manager of the Houston Astros. He ain't going to go nowhere.
Craig Counsell, Eric, is a guy along the Buster. See, that age group that played in an era when Buster played. I think that is now the level you go to. You go to guys who are on his playing level, I think.
Yep.
And it's funny you mentioned Terry Francona. We both did. Not to blow my own horn. But I told you in the preseason, Eric.
We talked about it. We said the Reds
Terry
are going to be
Francona.
Yep.
That hire could get them to the playoffs, Eric. And it did.
And it did. Who would have thought it would have been took only 83 wins? I mean, that's incredible. 83 wins to get into the third.
That tells you how bad we were, Eric.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It tells you how bad we were. We couldn't even,
and I think that's why Buster Posey said, Buster Posey was looking at the standings and going, 83 wins? Really? Are you effing serious? If they, remember, I predicted 84 wins. If they had won 84 wins, they would be in the freaking third and final wild card.
Who is
Matt
Dave
Morse?
Roberts?
You don't
Dave
fire
Roberts.
Melvin unless you know who you're. And I think Buster Posey knows who he's going to hire, right? Yeah, he says that there's a list, but come on. You damn well know Buster Posey knows exactly who he wants to get.
Krypton's not talking about Dave Roberts of the Dodgers, is he?
Yeah. I'm just because
he's the manager of the Dodgers. What are we talking about?
No, because Dallas was talking about the question is if the person Buster Posey wants is currently in the playoffs. I don't think any of them that are currently in the playoffs are anyone that Buster Posey wants.
I don't think Dave Roberts is overrated. Not at all. Then again, he's also a manager of a team that's got quality ball players there. We don't, and no slight to Bob Melvin here, because he's got to answer.
Yeah.
When the shit rolls downhill, Eric.
That's a fact.
I told you during the show. Do you remember the night I said, you can't fire the whole team, Eric?
You can't. No, you can't.
But again, last night on the show, I threw out names like McRae, and they're like, why are we even talking about McRae? Why are we even talking? We're talking about because he was the call-up in September. Is that the best we can do? He doesn't exactly have the horses, Eric. Yeah. He didn't have the horses. He ended up the second half of the year, didn't have a bullpen. Didn't have a closer, didn't have a setup man.
Yeah.
You were rolling the dice every night, and you know how frustrating it was every night when you saw, and now coming into pitch, Walker.
Yeah,
Walker.
I know.
You go, oh, Christ, this isn't going to end well.
No.
I mean, it didn't have the horses, Eric. You got guys who were up there, and do you remember the comment I made last night, and I stand by it? I said to Dan, we were beefing about something, and I said, Dan, you can't say I'm building around players like Matt Chapman when he doesn't have the numbers, Eric. You're not building. You should be putting Matt Chapman around superstars, not the Grant McRae's of the world and the Schmitz. You should be putting them around lowly Matt Chapman.
You build around Rafael Devers. That's what you do. You build around him.
And Buster Posey has got to stop throwing around the old, he gave the little pat in the back, and so be it. He gave the pat in the back, boost encouragement to his manager when they stunk.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, don't go out, Buster, anymore and call this lineup a lineup of superstars. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I hear you. I didn't like that choice of words either.
Stop with the rah and time to right this ship, Eric.
Ibrahim, I will take any manager not currently on Metamucil or prune juice regimen. That's pretty good. That's true. Pretty good.
It is true.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. God, look, I thought that this offseason was already going to be kind of intriguing considering the holes that the Giants are going to have to fill. Well, now you have another
way.
I know. And look, if I'm not mistaken, right, I think Bob Melvin is the first victim, so to speak, for the offseason of managers getting fired. Is there going to be any other manager? Is Mendoza on the hot seat in New York? Supposedly, he's not.
I saw a report yesterday about 15. They said half the league could be fired.
I don't know how Mendoza is safe because I saw something yesterday saying that the Mets have no intention. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You notice a couple of guys in the chat are bringing up the name Chapman. He cannot be happy today. It's like his dad.
I think I got a feeling that it was coming already. They had to have known, man. They had to have known. I mean, it's. I'm sure it wasn't a secret.
No, but Matt,
yeah,
it's like playing for your dad. I think
I hear you.
Disappointed, man.
But you know what? Hey, you got to suck it up, Buttercup. I mean, you're in the big leagues, and
that's right.
You're getting. Then don't get me wrong. They're still human. They still have emotions. They're not robots that go out there and they can't flip a switch and turn it on and turn it off. But the good thing is that at least it's happening at the end of the season and it's not midseason. If it was a midseason move, well, then I could see that having a greater effect against some guys. But as far as being ready for he's going to be ready for 2026. So
Robert Rothberg brings up a good point. You're going to have to, if you're going to be seriously considered for this job and you want to go to San Francisco, you've got to say, hey, this will be my ball club. Buster has to give the manager the reins.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be running this ball club day to day from the office. You can't be pulling a George Steinbrenner, Eric. You hire the manager to do his job. If it doesn't work, you do what they did today.
Yeah, and Robert, I think Melvin had complete autonomy, and I think that's why what we saw, if you think about it, we talked about this a couple of times, Glenn, the way that he was setting up the lineups. I think that we were blaming Farhan for quite a bit of that, but I think that might have been some of Bob Melvin, getting fancy with the spices, so to speak. And it didn't. I got a feeling that Bob Melvin had completed. I don't think Buster Posey was quote unquote in his junk, demanding him to play certain players or whatever. I mean, maybe with young guys or something, maybe they wanted to get a look. So maybe he would have said, hey, want us to get a look at this guy. So make sure he's in the lineup. But
hey, and in
was he
fairness,
just in the lineup every day now?
I'm the guy. It seems I'm one of the few that's going to bat for Bob Melvin. I'm glad they made this move. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But a bit of desperation, too. I mean, he can only work with what he had, Eric.
And that's fair.
He was pulling every stunt possible.
And look, and there's players, you got to put this on the players as well. You have to. Some of the players did not step up to the plate, so to speak, pun intended. And it failed them. Look, and it wasn't just the hitting. The defense got a little bit weird, right? The pitching got a little wonky there for a while with injury, and then also guys that weren't necessarily going out there and taking care of business. So, but again, you can't fire the whole team. Look, are you going to see the likes of Luciano and Matos and no, you're not. I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Walker's off the team. Wilmer Flores may or may not be a bench piece next year. We'll see. But his days as a Giant is probably over. And it was, hey, bravo to the Giants honoring Wilmer Flores. He was a good Giant, right? He was a good Giant. And I'm glad that the Giants went out there and they gave him his flowers, so to speak, to recognize him.
And you know what? I still maintain, I know people don't like it and they'll argue, but I still maintain if he went to the right organization, even at his age right now with his bat, Eric, and he played every day.
No,
if he DH'd every day, I still say he could put up big numbers.
I think his value is coming off the bench. That's just me. I think his value is coming off the bench in those key moments because he'll give you a good at bat. You don't want to wear him down because in the beginning of the season he was on fire. Towards the end, not so much because
injuries have hit him too.
Yes, and that's the problem. The more you put him out in the field, the more chance that you have of getting some type of injury.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot today, Eric. I want you to come in hot and heavy on me.
Going off the rails. Eric with another epic sports take.
I want to know right here, right now, Monday, September 29th at 11:20 a.m. Who's the next manager?
You want me the next manager? I've said his name. I'm going to say it's Ron Wotus. I'll say Ron Wotus is your next San Francisco Giants manager.
If you're keeping it in-house, I got to agree with you, Eric. Yeah. That would not be he's got a passion. He's got a passion for this organization. He knows his baseball. I thought he did a tremendous job as the analyst there on the postgame shows.
On the postgame shows, and then if you listen to him every Sunday with Marty Lurie, the guy knows his baseball. He knows baseball. He's been part of this game for decades. And one thing he has not been able to do, he has not ever had a chance to be an MLB manager. Is he a no-nonsense Ron Wotus.
Is he no-nonsense?
And look, and the guy communicates. Right? He communicates. When he was a bench coach, he was out there communicating with the players. He was teaching them, the infield. As a matter of fact, he was setting the infield. if I'm not, he knows baseball. I want Ron Wotus.
So today, I think, is
the big
today, Eric. Do you think today is what we'll call an epic day in the history of the Giants making this move?
Yeah, it's up there. Because how often, look, and you know what's, hey.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Wow. Never did this at 11:22 a.m.
No, but it gets you fired up, Eric. We're a day out.
Playoffs
day out, Eric, and I'm already looking forward to next year already.
I know.
Yeah, let's party. Let's party. So
I'll tell you what.
So last year, Farhan Zaidi.
Well, look what's happened over
this year.
In what was it? After 23, Kapler was let go. After 24, Farhan was let go. After 25, Melvin. There's a lot of turnover. We got to get some continuity here, guys. Right? We have to get some continuity because after Bruce Bochy left, the team has been in a state of flux.
That's true, Eric.
And you can't. How are you going to have success when you're in a constant state of flux? Whether it's the manager, whether it's the Pobo, you can't. You got to get something set.
Get a grip.
And get a philosophy that's going to be long lasting. You can't keep doing this. You got to go out there. And I'm tired of stopgaps. No more stopgaps. Go out there, get your guy, and run with him.
Still a lot of chatter, Eric. KMBR, our chat.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. That's gonna be.
But people talking about Bochy, that frightens me. I don't want to go down the old stale road again, Eric.
He's a great manager. I said he's a Hall of Famer. But how long is he going to manage? Look, there's a chance there is no baseball in 2027. A very high chance there is no baseball in 2027. So if you hired Bochy, you're basically hiring him for 1 year. And then now you got to go hire somebody else for 2028.
Dude, if you know what, though, if that continues, and we're only in the, this is the infancy of this process. If that is the chat that we continue to see, why not? Hey, Dusty Baker, let's just throw it at all those guys. Throw out all the names, Eric. I mean, what's the difference between hiring a Dusty Baker and a Bruce Bochy?
Right.
I want young. The Craig Counsell avenue, if you will, Eric. Get me a manager around that age. Get me somebody who knows ball. Somebody that I think it's going to be somebody that can identify through the eyes of Buster Posey. It's going to be somebody that Buster puts in place that he will be like a right arm to Buster. Mm-hmm. I just think it's going to be a younger. I think they're going to go on the younger side. And again, if they go with your choice, then I won't be disappointed at all.
All right, here we go. Fuji says $2. This will be the Giants' third manager in 4 years. All right, guys. And this is there's no, I'm not giving up any state secrets here. All right. So when I went and saw Marty Lurie's movie on Saturday evening, right, in San Francisco, the Vogue, it was fantastic, by the way. Unbelievable. Guess who was in attendance?
Well, you didn't have a gig at the bar that night, Eric? Ronnie says I won't be able to appear that night. I have a pressing engagement.
Must
have been Ronnie Wotus.
Guess who was with Ron Wotus? Mark Hallberg.
Oh yeah.
They were traveling together, so take it for what it's worth. Again, it could mean something. It could mean nothing. Larry Baer was at the premiere as well.
All right, we're dropping. We're going all over the place now with different ideas and thoughts in this process, Eric. But do you feel? I know it will happen to a grand degree. It's going to happen. But to what degree do you want an entire change in the coaching regime?
Well, that's what they're doing. I mean, look, they're going to have to. They're going to have to.
Third base coach? Gone.
Look, maybe. Yeah, that's possible.
Well, Eric, I thought he worked himself out of a position too. He did not do us any favors at third base coaching this year. And then sending guys when you didn't have a hope in a hell. You and I had a bet. You could have pushed me in a wheelbarrow and had a better chance of getting home than McRae had against the Dodgers. That will haunt me.
Rough.
I go, what the hell are they?
They're trying to.
Dude, the gasp! I was there that night, and I went. He's going. He's going. No, what? People were dumbfounded by that.
Hey, well, think about it. Hey, he made up for it, though. He made up for it.
Yeah, well, that doesn't always happen.
I tell you what, it's
mistake.
And this is the thing is it's not just when we're talking about finding a new manager, we're talking about bench coach, pitching coach. I think is safe. Maybe new first and third base coaches, hitting coaches.
Well, that's to be said. The manager brings in his own crew, Eric. He's not going to go, well, I'm just going to work with what you left me. No.
And it's up. It could also be dependent on what the president of baseball operations. Sometimes they hire a manager saying, "Hey, you're going to be the manager, but I want these guys as coaches." It could happen. That could be a possibility. We'll find out. But I got a feeling it's going to be a wholesale change, minus the pitching coach, because JP Martinez has been pretty good for the Giants.
Giant Sports Talk Live, a special edition, and a lot of people jumping into our chat, and some of them are familiar faces. Robert. Regardless of the new manager, the players have to produce. You are on the money, man.
That's fact. That's a fact.
Because Robert, are you finally is Robert taking a knee? Is he taking a knee and admitting because they didn't produce this year? Did they, Robert? The grass is definitely greener on the other side for this team because they did not produce this year, Eric.
Wow.
They didn't live up to expectations. They didn't produce. Willie Adames. 30 freaking home runs. And what else? Close to 200 strikeouts, Eric.
Yep.
Just shy of 200 strikeouts. When you strike out a third of the time, that ain't good.
You got to be careful with the strikeouts. Everybody strikes out.
But his degree of strikeouts is way up there.
Here's the problem. Their strikeout. Shohei Ohtani struck out like 180 times. But the problem is, what are you doing when you're not striking out? Shohei Ohtani is a better player because of what he does when he's not striking out, right? That's what everybody strikes out. This is an era of the strikeout. It just is.
Yeah, but you can't compare.
I hate it. I don't like
compare Shohei to anybody.
But I'm just saying, it's not all about just not striking out.
Aaron Judge strikes out, Eric.
He strikes out, exactly.
But he won the batting title, bat 330 some.
Yes, correct.
And look at the home run totals again.
Yes.
They've got we've over in the National League here. We've got an Ohtani. They've got a Judge. They can strike out. They are quality. See, they're ball players, Eric. They're the elite. They're Buster. They are superstars.
Mm-hmm.
They're superstars, Eric.
Devers, by the way, Devers is a superstar. Did you see where he ranks in jerseys sold during the MLB? He ranks 7th in all the players in the MLB. For jerseys sold.
Who was 5th? Wilmer?
Yeah.
In all of MLB. Wow.
In all the MLB, he's in the top 10. He's number 7 in jerseys sold. So look, Posey got Devers, and that's huge. Now you're just going to have to find some other pieces to put around Devers, and let's see what happens.
It's going to be a big show tonight, Eric. When we go live at 8:00 tonight, I thought we were going to do our wrap up and our preview, our picks. Who's going to do what?
That's going to be fun.
And now,
yes,
I think this is going to be
tomorrow.
There's going to be scatter shots on tonight. There's going to be manager and players.
Oh, dude, we're going to be all over the place again tonight. It's going to, I mean, seriously. The Giants keep giving us material, and hey, we'll run with it.
We might even have, I'm going to throw in an olive branch, see if we can get a special guest. You know what? I'd like to get Lou's thoughts on the managerial move today.
Sure. Yeah. I'd like to see what he has to say.
Let's see what we get our old pal Lou Marston on the show tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what we could do.
And any other guests, we'll open up the chat. I think tonight's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, how about we do that? How about we throw the link out tonight since there's a lot. Hey, it's the end of the season. I want to hear what people have to say, whether you want to vent or whatever you want to do. And then, look, we got a lot to talk about, guys. A lot to talk about. We got players that the Giants should sign. We got managers that the Giants should hire. I mean, it's going to – we could talk postseason baseball. Who's going to go the distance? Who is going to get hot at the right time? Because that's what it's about, right? October baseball, who gets hot at the right time?
Good question again from our old pal Robert. I think there's going to be huge pressure because of the pieces Buster's put some pieces in place. And if he adds this offseason, you're gonna be hired to come into a hornet's nest.
You know what, Robert? That is a great point, because let's talk about this. The Giants are not hiring a manager that is going to be part of a rebuild, right? In other words, you're not hiring someone to go, hey, we're not going to be good for a while, so let's see what you can do type of situation. You're coming straight into, we want to win, and we want to get in the standards are high. So does Mark Hallberg fall in that category? I don't think so. Right? Does any new Mark DeRosa? I don't think so. Any of these quote unquote new guys who have a track record. That's why I say Ron Wotus, Joe Madden, Joshua. Thank you. Joe Madden could be a guy they may try to look for. Who knows? Let's see what happens. I think just going to get some guys with experience. There's no doubt about it.
Joe Madden would be a fun hire.
That would be a fun hire. Because he's kind of a mix of the old and the new.
And he's good with the media and the fans and the team. Yeah. He's a good manager. I said it earlier, he milked every last bit of talent out of all of his Tampa Bay players, a team that should not have played. I think Madden can get players to exceed their expectations, Eric.
Gosh, I can't believe I totally forgot about Joe Madden. How old is Joe anyways? Let me see.
I should have my other laptop open. All now you got to do is just say, how old is Joe Madden? And your AI will just spit everything out for you. He was born this date in this city. His parents' names and everything. And real baseball. We got 4 on the docket tomorrow to talk about tonight, Eric.
Yeah.
4 games going down.
Oh, it ain't going to be Joe Madden. He's 71. Then again, age isn't a matter, but man, 71. He's long in the tooth.
What about Butch Weiniger? I heard. Who Dan wanted to be the manager of the team?
Benji?
Biff Pockeroba.
Oh,
and he's dead.
Hey, how about Lars Olson? I heard he's a pretty good manager. You know, do you remember he's out there with the Walnut Grove Millers? I heard he's a pretty good manager.
Well, the first bit of advice you'll hear, or I want to hear from a new manager, should never use the broom, Eric.
Never use the broom. Yeah, ruins the swing. Ruins the swing.
Yeah.
Lou Piniella, Jim Leland. Oh man, that guy's.
See, we're out of control. See, this is the part of the show we're just having fun, and it gets out of control.
Yeah. Do the Giants want Pete Alonso? They ain't getting
nowhere
Pete Alonso.
For him.
We're not getting Pete Alonso.
We got nowhere to put him.
We don't know.
Giants
are not going to get Pete Alonso.
You can't make your ball club by you can't build a team with just plucking guys at random, Eric. You got to build a foundation. Yeah. Where are you going to put Pete Alonso?
That ain't happening. There's only one position. No, I should say 2 positions. First base and a DH. And the Giants already got a DH. So, no. Joe Madden is 71, big.
And a big topic of conversation on the Hot Corner last night. Oh, I knew the floodgate. Eric, it's going to be a topic throughout this offseason.
What you got?
You bring up Eldridge, he bats 097 in a short window, and now people are calling for his head, and people want to keep him, and oh, God, But that's what the offseason is going to be about, Eric. People's opinions and chatter, and what should we do, what should we have done. I know a lot of things they should have done in the regular season they didn't, and that's win.
Hey, we got a new person, Sapphire McKay. Welcome to the fraternity we call Giant Sports Talk Live, says Donnie Baseball Manager. Enough platooning first base and right field. Get lefty power. We ain't playing NL ball. I see what he's saying. NL ball, the hit and run, the small ball type stuff. That was National League Baseball. I get what you're saying.
Don Mattingly's never gotten his chance, has he? He's sitting on the bench in Toronto every year, Eric.
Yeah. No, thanks. Benji Molina? I don't know about Benji. I don't know about Benji. You got Yadier out there, but Yadier is going to be the manager for the he's going to be the manager for the Cardinals. He ain't leaving the freaking Cardinals.
Oh, if we stay on long enough, you're going to hear every possible pick, Eric. They're throwing darts at the board now.
Exactly. Hold on, I'm going to check something here and I'll make sure we're good. Oh my goodness, man. This is crazy. We kind of saw that coming though, didn't we?
Oh, that's true. Donnie Baseball. He was with the Dodgers and Marlins. My bad. Did you remember that?
There we
should have
go.
corrected me. I forgot about him.
There you go. Let me do
Stephen
that.
Vogt. There's the line. You got to go along those lines. Get me a Stephen Vogt type, Eric.
Insane Sports Take. You're back. I didn't know that it affected our channel. Sorry about that, Insane. You're good to go. You're out of jail, buddy. Damn it. I didn't even know. That was Dan that wound up putting you in jail. So I don't know how it got it onto our
You
channel.
mean when we do the hot corner, you shut down one?
I guess I did not
Oh.
know that. So I had to go take a look at that. So sorry about that, Insane Sports.
Insane's always welcome here.
Yeah,
I don't always agree with him.
I don't always
but he's
agree.
welcome
Right.
Here.
Exactly.
You got to pull
Hey,
out.
here we go. So that others may live. What is up? It says, hey, boys, good takes today. Anyone now that the front office has maybe sacrificed their last lamb of managers' ownership maybe have to start owing soon. They have to start owing soon.
I don't know about owning. They got to start spending. Spend this money. They got a big purse string to open up, Eric. Let her loose. Ownership got to spend some more money this year. And in fairness, again, people are quick to criticize all the manager and the ownership. Ownership have gone out of their way in the last 3, 4, 5 years, Eric. They've gone out of their way to spend money. They had the deal worked out for Correa.
They're spending money, guys.
Adames.
Look, we can't say Chapman, right? They are spending money. Guys, the Giants got money to spend, and they're going to spend it. Where will they spend it is what we're waiting for.
How about back up the Brinks truck and just say, how much, Bo?
Well, you know what? I don't think it's going to cost that much to get Bo. Right? He's not going to be a 400. Hell, he's not going to even bring in 300 million. He's probably going to be. I wouldn't be surprised. He's probably around Willie Adames type money. He's probably going to be about 180.
Yes,
and
I agree.
That's okay. Mm-hmm. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. A starting pitcher, you may have to spend 150 million, right? Over 5 years, whatever. You may have to do that, but the Giants got the money to do it. So go out there and do it.
Hey, is that your end of season shirt? Looks like your San Francisco Giant logo's got diarrhea or something. Explosive.
Little tie-dye action.
Holy cow. I like that shirt, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice.
I bet you one guess, you know what I'm rocking today, right? What would I be rocking?
Always.
What?
Valkyrie.
No, well, close. It's playoffs. So
well, there you go. Close enough.
Just supporting the league, Eric. Just supporting the league.
Okay, and he goes, where is the GM Manasian's prodigy holding? No, but here's the talk. Let's talk about this. Do we really know? Do we really know what
I got a call coming in. Be right back.
Okay. Do we really know what Manasian's role was under Farhan? Because it seemed like, right? And look, I don't know for this to be fact. Just throwing it out there. Maybe Farhan seemed to be a guy that was very hands-on. So maybe he didn't allow Manasian to do what Manasian was capable of doing. And now Buster Posey is allowing him to do that. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Hey, look, I like what the Giants did in the draft. I liked what the Giants did at the trade deadline. They got some players that they value. They wanted high contact, low strikeout guys. That is the philosophy for the Giants. Now, unfortunately, you cannot turn over a roster in a matter of one offseason. Heck, you can't even do it in 2 off seasons. It's gonna be a slow process when you're working through the draft. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, you could go out there and spend some money and make the team better until you could kind of get the team where you really want it to be. It's baseball, man. It takes time. You got the long game and you got the short game. You got to be able to exceed it both. And let's see what happens. Again, let's see what Buster Posey could do. He has made some amazing decisions in this season. His first season as a Pobo was not easy. And I thought he's done a good job. I know there's a lot of people shitting on Buster Posey. And I don't think it was justified. I don't. Let's see what Buster Posey can do here. This is going to be a key offseason to see how he's going to be able to figure out to get the ship on track, so to speak. They're going to have to get some damn continuity. Have to get continuity. I mean, over these last couple of years, we've had new Pobos, new managers. I mean, look, this is going to be the 3rd manager in 4 years? Come on. You can't be doing that. There's a problem there. So I got a feeling that whoever Buster Posey hires is going to be a guy that's going to be here for a while. We'll see what happens. I don't think, and you say Kirk said, I think it's going to be a guy with managerial type experience. Look, this is not a rebuild. I said this a few minutes ago. This is not a rebuild. This is a time where Buster Posey wants to go out there and he wants to win. He wants to get into playoffs. And if you're going to do that, especially with the kind of roster that the Giants have, you got a Chapman, Adames, a Devers. That is your core. Okay. So the manager that's going to be hired is going to have to be ready to go, hit the ground running, so to speak, because this isn't about just treading water until your guys come up and ready to go. This is not a rebuild. This is not a team that's on a downturn. This is something that Buster Posey, he wants to win. So I got a feeling he's not going to hire a quote unquote a novice. And when I mean by novice, that doesn't have any type of managerial experience. I got the feeling that it's going to be a guy who has done this before, whether it's been as a manager or manager-like type of situations. That's why I bring up Ron Wotus. The guy has been part of the San Francisco Giants for decades. The one thing he has not been able to do is get the managing, right? And I would hope that and again, it's up to Ron if he wants to do that, right? If he doesn't want to do it, well, then he's off the list. But
you know why I like him off the list, Eric? You know why I like him? Like, again, I say you go outside the organization, get a guy who's going to step right in. I don't care if he's young on the younger side. I don't care. It's just somebody who's going to be aggressive and running this ball club. And again, you know why I don't want Hallberg and I don't want Bochy and I don't want any of these guys is because I believe with all my heart and with the Lord above looking down, that always gets me in trouble.
That always gets you in trouble. Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I think that you got to hire outside the box, and literally outside the box. I don't want the manager to be an extension of Buster Posey. If that's the case, go back to what I said earlier. Let Buster manage the team. Yeah. Buster's got to be hands off, hire the manager. It's got to be his job. And I think the only way to safely do that is to hire from outside. He can't be hiring his buddies. Well, Hallberg, he applied before and, he's a friend of Buster's. Who cares?
Or how about how about this little wrinkle? Again, this is just for fun. Listen to me. This is for fun. I'm not being serious. Maybe Buster Posey makes the announcement. As president of baseball operations, I have hired myself as the manager. Hold on. I hire myself as manager. I will step down immediately as president of baseball operations. And that kicks it to the ownership where they got to go find the president of baseball operations, right? How about that? As my final move as president of baseball operations, I pick myself.
I could live with that, to be honest with you, Eric. I could live with that.
How about that, huh?
If you ask me right now, Buster Posey may be the best selection, dude.
I wouldn't be. Look, hey,
but
it's jokes. I don't think it's going to happen. But, dude, could he be a manager? Absolutely.
I think he could. And again, I just think that if you keep the manager close, then you got your finger in the, you get your fingers in the pie. I don't want that. And I think that's going to be a sticking point with a manager, don't you? If they bring in a veteran manager, he's going to go, this is my team.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and I think Buster Posey is going to say, yeah, that's your team.
And that was an issue. And that was an issue when they were trying to, you remember that Kim Eng?
Yeah.
She wanted nothing to do with this because she's like, you're not going to pull the puppet strings on me. It's got to be my
as
team.
the GM.
Like, no, we can't do that. Hey, when you hire somebody to do, I've hired guys to do radio shows for me, Eric. You gotta let them loose, right?
Sometimes. Hey, it's like that with anything, whether you're in the military, whether you're in private business. Sometimes you got to make some hard decisions, and that means you got to let people go. Really? Trending on Fangraphs, Hunter Pence at 42%. Is he the highest? No way. There's no way you can have Hunter Pence, man. Like, if you want to hire Hunter Pence in a rebuild, makes sense. That makes sense. But for the direction that the team wants to go, no.
Eric, that's again. Doesn't that open your eyes, though? That opens your. Well,
I'm not seeing that. Where'd you see that, Marcus?
I could understand that. Congratulations, by the way, Marcus.
It says Brian Christensen and Matt Williams will not be returning. Wow. Susan Slusser 10 minutes ago. Hold on. Let me go take a find. Wow.
I would say good. I would say not really a surprise and good news. Good news.
Wow. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. I kind of figured that was going to happen. So
who's going to hire a Matt Williams and a Bob Melvin at this point in their careers, Eric?
Oh, here we go. Holy crap. Hold on. Let me see. Let's go.
Marcus, it's bullshit.
Okay, let's go. Let's go in order here. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Let me get rid of that. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate that, guys, for giving me a heads up. Here we go. Let's start here. Posey says that the fate of the coaching staff is likely to be determined when the manager is hired. There you go. Chance for some to keep jobs, it sounds like. Posey doesn't indicate anyone on the staff was let go today apart from Melvin. And let's go up. Oh. I'm told coaches were informed they'd be recommended to a new manager, but they're not guaranteed positions. Okay. Bench coach Ryan Christensen tells me he will not be back with the Giants next season either. Okay, let's go up here. Okay. Matt Williams tells me that he will not return to the Giants. Logan Webb, as a player, it's tough to see Bob Melvin go. He brought a lot of experience and stability to the clubhouse, and we respected his leadership. The last 2 seasons didn't get us to the postseason, and I know the front office is hungry for wins. So here you go. He knows that the front office is hungry for wins. Keep that in the back of your mind. It's a business, and change happens. But Bob's a great manager who gave us his all, and I'm definitely going to miss him being around him every day. Bob was amazing to me and taught me a lot. So there you go.
Hey, Susan. Let me inform you of something, Susan. If he gave, what did it say there? He gave it his all. Yeah. A great manager who gave us his all.
No, that's a quote. That's a quote from Logan Webb. See the quotations? She's quoting Logan Webb.
And then you wonder why there was a change? His all was not good enough, Eric.
No, and look, the players aren't going to come out and say, you know what, that guy was the biggest piece of shit I've ever dealt with. They're not going to do that. They don't throw each other under the bus. Even if there is something wrong. That's why it was huge when the year before last, when Logan Webb made some interesting comments, and next thing you know, Gabe Kapler was gone. And you don't see that. They're gonna protect their own because it's tough, right? You don't want to be a guy that's going to be labeled as a shit stirrer, so to speak. So look, they're going to be political about it. So you just got to have some, to a certain extent, read between the lines. Now, as he said, look, he goes, I know the front office is hungry for wins. So that tells you kind of the direction of where the Giants are going to go as far as the future manager and now bench coach and third base coach.
And I told you I wouldn't have trust in Buster Posey until he started to open my eyes. They're being opened as we speak, Eric.
I'm telling you.
He's making the moves.
I'm going to say Ron Wotus is the manager. Mark Hallberg will be the bench coach. I'm saying it. No word on Pat Burrell. I know a lot of people are talking Pat Burrell.
And I know you've said, Eric, the manager he's not out there picking balls, running them down. He's not getting base hits. But he oversaw a team 1-15 at home, Eric. That stretch.
100%. That was horrendous.
And like I said at the start of the show, the shit flows downhill.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that that Buster Posey acknowledged of why he extended Bob Melvin. It was exactly like I said. He just wanted to try to calm the waters, show some stability, even though the Giants weren't doing well. But it doesn't mean, hey, at the end of the season, we won't. Because look, there was still a lot of baseball from July 6th until, what was this, September 28th? There was a lot of baseball to be played. And Bob Melvin did not meet the standards that were set by Buster Posey, and unfortunately he's gone. Morkatna says, I do like Wotus. He will hold people accountable and will get pissed if they aren't performing. Yeah, he's got a little bit of old school in him. But he's also understands how the game is, man. Let's go. Come on. Dude, I'd be ecstatic. I would be ecstatic if they go out there and they get Ron Wotus.
And you know what? A guy called Ed. I called out some people on the chat last Sunday night who were in here saying, "Oh, if we get in," I mean, stop it. If we get in, we get in, we can get hot, Eric. This team really, Eric. Let's call a spade a spade. This team had no business. You don't go 1-15 in a stretch when you need to win 1-15 and say, well, we could get hot in the postseason. No, we got the pieces. Eric, this team had no business even being considered for postseason play this year. And if they did get in, then people would be all pissed off because it would be a big letdown, because no sooner would the playoffs start and they'd be like, Giants have been dispatched early. They weren't going anywhere. But people, the fan base, some of them were in here last Sunday night. Whoa, they could get hot. Come on. If they could get hot, Eric, they wouldn't have got 1-15.
Yeah.
And wouldn't have lost to the Marlins and the White Sox.
Here's a quote from Buster. We must have missed that because we joined in progress. Here's this quote. We've got to get back to a place where we're getting into playoffs. We're making the playoff runs into playoffs. That's what our fan base deserves. That's what the city deserves. He understands. He understands what he wants. That's his goal. He wants to have a winning team. And look, that's what you want to hear from the president of baseball operations.
Absolutely.
He's not beating around the bush. He's out there saying, hey, the Giants want to be playoff contenders. The fans want the Giants to be playoff contenders.
Absolutely.
Go,
and
man.
not a one and done, not a 1 year run and done.
done.
You need to have consistent runs, Eric. You got to be like the Dodgers. You got to know that every year you leave spring training and go, we're playing for the World Series.
Yep.
If you're not playing, Eric, if you're not playing for the World Series, Eric, then why bother?
Right.
You're not play. You called it out last offseason when we started doing the show, our first offseason together. I don't know how many times you said, I don't want to just make the playoffs. It's about winning championships, Eric. Something Buster Posey knows all about.
Exactly. All right, hold on. I'm going to see something. I'm going to bring this up real quick. I got to see something here. Hitting. Where are we at?
How long you keep this running, Eric?
Not much longer. We'll get out of here.
I got
I'm
risen
not gonna
from
worry.
bed after a couple hours, and now I got work to do. I got my work day.
Oh, yeah. Want to do just a quick poll? Let's do a quick poll. Let's see.
Sure.
Let's do a quick poll and then we'll get the heck out of here.
I'm not running.
By the
out
way,
the door
guys,
yet.
tune in 8:00 tonight. We're going to be back at it again with back to our normal programming of Giant Sports Talk Live.
Yeah, I don't think anything in tonight's show is going to be normal, Eric.
Nope.
We're going to talk about the season that could have been. We're going to talk about, obviously, the firing of the manager. We're going to talk about real baseball, Eric. 4 games going tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. After tonight, let's just take a break from Giants baseball and manage. Let's just
we're going to get into playoff baseball.
Enjoy postseason ball starting tomorrow.
Dude, you know how many games there are tomorrow? Tomorrow and Wednesday, 4 games, boy. I tell you. Okay, how should I word this, Glenn? Should I put it, who do you want? Or who will a Giant? Or I'm trying to word how do I word this? Because
maybe who's the best choice?
Yeah. I'll just say who should be the manager. We'll just say that.
Oh, there you go. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep. And then we'll get the heck out of here.
Marcus says, I don't have ESPN. That is a good thing. Jesus. ESPN. ESPN is a prime example of why there's bullshit in marketing. The worldwide leader in sports. Not.
I know. I only got 4 options.
Thanks, Justin. Justin's always there. Justin, at least you got. He's one of the few guys, Eric, that is what I call a regular. Justin has something to play for tomorrow.
Yeah, he does.
His Red Sox taking on the New York Yankees.
There you go. Polls out there. Who should be the next Giants manager? Selections are Wotus, Schumacher, Bochy, DeRosa.
And other?
No, he only could do 4. So, Will
so if you don't like him,
Will is an awesome guy, right? Awesome guy. But does he want to dedicate the time? Look, he's got a pretty good life. He's got his son that he does a lot of things with. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not trying to speak for him, but would you like to see him in an organization? Absolutely. I mean, he's a special advisor, but would he want to be part of the everyday grind? That's a decision that he would have to make.
I don't think he's not even a consider. Right. Eric, can you imagine hiring him to be your manager? Remember what I said earlier about a manager coming in and wanting full control? Mm-hmm. I think they'd lose control of him. You know what he's like. I think Buster would lose full, he'd have no control.
Would you say it would be off the rails? Would it be off the rails?
Will would be doing whatever he wants when he wants and saying whatever he wants, Eric. Jeez.
That's the beauty of Will, man. He does not sugarcoat it. He lets you know exactly how it feels. And look, sometimes that's a breath of fresh air. But I think what he does now, I think does service to not just the Giants, but all of baseball.
Could you imagine having to fire him? I'd say, Eric, I got a job for you. You go do it. That's why I hired
you. Truth. There's too many guys on the same. Hey, Don, you're talking about 30 of the 30 teams in baseball.
Preaching the choir.
The league is full of strikeouts. That's all it is. It's full of strikeouts. Even your elite players strike out a lot. That's the game. It's all about the power swing. Can I hit the ball over the fence? Can I take a walk and the strikeout? That's what the game is. I don't like that style of play. I want to see a batting average. I want to see guys running around the bases. It's just that's just the nature of baseball right now. Will it course correct? Probably. I can't put other. There's only 4 choices. Cryptic, email YouTube at YouTube support and tell them, fix the polling. So far, 28 votes.
Cryptic's coming in on you. It's not valid, Eric.
What am I supposed to do? I'm working with what I got here.
What am I
Yes.
gonna do?
Ohtani, look at that. Struck out almost 190 times. Almost 190 times.
I don't care. I'd say, Ohtani, I don't care what the hell you do. Just keep doing what you're doing. Strikeouts.
Exactly.
He's a unicorn, Eric. I don't know, like, oh, you struck out? See you next at bat.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not.
That's Justin. That's
what
I probably thought too. That Schumacher is probably going to stick with the Rangers, but why not? All right, here we go. We got 30 votes in. Rodas at 43%, Schumacher at 19%, Bochy at 16%, DeRosa at 23%.
Markatna says 30 home runs and 80-plus RBIs
That's
for a down
good.
year. Adamas?
That's down year? Good.
Dude, that's the back of his baseball card. That's
pretty good.
Year, though.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a down year. That's what you get from the guy.
It's pretty good, right? Rafael Devers hit 36 home runs and 100-plus RBIs. Did you know this little tidbit?
Did you know?
In his 90 games.
Yeah.
I think I should. It's probably us. Yeah. Today, I don't think that was from yesterday. I think from yesterday.
What do you got?
In his 90 games with the Giants, I think it was. Okay. He's hit 20 home runs. Is that good? Is 20 home runs in 90 games good?
You do that at Oracle Park, Eric?
Thank you.
Not bad at all.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. The kid. The guy's going to be good. He's going to be a great Giant, man. And look, it was fun going to the games and watching him take his hacks were amazing.
I'm not going to poo-poo this offseason, Eric. I'm not going to poo-poo and be critical because I think the sky is no longer falling on this organization. After today, they're going to bring in a new manager, new philosophies abound, new players are coming in. We're seeing sweeping change in the last year, Eric.
We are. You talked about seeing sweeping changes. Well, we're got a front seat to these sweeping changes. You're going to see a new pitching
thanks to Lou
staff.
Marston.
Hey, Lou.
There you go, Lou.
You're going to have new pitching. You're going to have a new manager. You're going to have new coaches. This is going to be something. What is 2026 going to bring? Are you guys optimistic? Join us at 8:00 tonight, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tonight at 8:00. Come bring in your freaking takes. I want to hear what you guys got to say.
My God. I'm just looking at the chat over the last 5 minutes, Eric. We have enough. If I take some quick notes, we have enough topics to cover the entire offseason. Should Jung-Hoo Lee be traded?
Yeah.
Who should we keep Verlander?
Dude, I tell you, man, this is going to be fun. Guys, again, tune in tonight, 8:00. There's a lot of discussion. Look, we're not even talking playoff baseball yet. But yet there's so much I know. Yet there's so much going on with the Giants. Let's talk about it. Join us tonight at 8, and then we'll do it all over. We'll throw out the link. We'll bring a bunch of people on. Hear what you have to say. Maybe there may even be a Chardall appearance. You never know. You never know.
God.
All right. Hey, Glenn, thanks for popping on for a little while here. This is fun.
I was just getting the cat nap before I started work, so I'm going to just go right to work.
Go right back over.
I had to field a call. Sorry, I had to drop out during the show there. I'm fielding calls. We all can't be sitting at home talking about baseball freely all day. I got to pay the
Exactly. Bill. All right, let's go do this, guys. Again, come back 8:00. We're gonna have a lot more discussion to talk about. It's fun.
Could be an epic show tonight, too, guys. I think it's going to be the floodgates are going to open all the way around. We're going to have. We could be looking at a 3-hour plus show tonight, Eric.
Hey. It's been done before. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Monday, and we'll see you guys tonight.
And one more quick take.
Yeah, go for it.
When I reached out and vice versa, we were talking about doing this. First thing that came to my mind, last time we had a big managerial or front office move, we went 12 hours. An hour and 39 minutes works for me. An hour and 39 works for me.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's
see you tonight, man. We'll see you guys
buddy.
tonight. 8:00. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.